lot of great teams and great players have trod the turf out there since 1966, but none of them more special, more cherished than Alf Ramsey's World Cup winning team. 11 players who, for one brief moment in time, became the most famous Englishman on this planet. He is now, as he ever was, at the centre of the story and yet remote from it. After being sacked by the Football Association, Sir Alf Ramsey went quietly back to East Anglia. He returned to football with Birmingham City for a brief spell and then a short time abroad. Today, he's a working director for a building company. Perhaps there was something very British in the way Alf Ramsey was treated. If so, there was something equally British in the way he dealt with his dismissal, keeping his own counsel, meeting insult with a dignified silence. He refused to be interviewed for this programme, content to let the facts of '66 speak for themselves. It is not in Ramsey's nature to say, as only he is entitled to say, "I told you so." Back in the summer of '66, though, the taste of victory was at its sweetest. And there was no town so proud as Ashington in Northumberland, birthplace of the Charlton brothers, Bobby and Big Jack. In August, the town turned out to say, "Well done." And 20 years later, Big Jack is still stopping them in their tracks.
I actually had a fella in Fairley. I was walking along the front in Fairley with a wife one day, and there's a fella come along with a little lad, and he went, "Hey, Jack Charlton, Dave." And he's got this little boy who was about 3, little lad, and he held his dad's hand, and he went, "There's Jack Charlton," you know, and the little boy sort of looked up vacant. And his lad said, "You don't remember playing in the World Cup? Played with these Jack Charlton, played in the World Cup in '66. Yeah, I've told you about him, you know him." And the boy was like that. And I thought for a minute the fellow was going to belt him along the ear because he didn't remember. And I said, but the boy wasn't even born then. It's 20 years ago.
Well, you know, when I said before that they equalised in the last minute, and we thought, oh, is that our chance gone? I didn't really think that. I thought that we were still a better team than them and we would win. Fortunately, we won. And then when the final whistle went, and all of us, I think, looked at each other and thought, hey, we're the best in the world. Nobody can argue about that. We have won the World Cup. We've played the best nations in all the world and we've beaten them. So, you know, we can justifiably say we're the best players in the world. We've got the best team in the world. That's something to say, isn't it? I felt absolutely fantastic. I was tired because it was a really hard game. And the extra 30 minutes was a bit hard, but nevertheless, it was all worthwhile when the whistle went and you could say to yourself, we have proved ourselves the best. The English are the best. And which was great because for a long time people had thought that English football had really lost a lot of ground against the rest of the world. And we could actually say, no, we're as good as anybody. Not only that, we are better. And it was brilliant.
And you can read about the boys of '66 in a fully illustrated hardback book by David Miller. Published by Pavilion Books, it's in shops now and costs £9.95.